Welcome, David. Thanks for having me here again for Timing Research, and it's such a great opportunity to talk to your audience. I'm going to talk a little bit about something that everybody needs to understand. It's called breakouts, and the biggest thing that we're going to focus on today is we're going to talk about a little bit how you can monetize day trading to swing trading to options trading by following order flow. Now, what is order flow? Following the big money. Now, there's a lot of stocks that are moving in the market. The problem is, how do you know which one to trade? How do you know which one not to trade? How do you know if you're going to get faked out? How do you know if it's going to break out? These are things I'm going to cover. So we're going to talk for probably about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the questions that come across. The more questions you ask, the more time we'll have some fun. But my goal today is I'm going to invite all of you to come back during the market hours, no matter when you want. You got a week trial, and you're going to see everything that we talked about in the real market hours. Okay, so all this good stuff. So before we get started, like I said, just a quick little warning. I'm not making any guarantees or promises that works for everyone. Please keep in mind there is a very high risk in trading, and you can lose a lot of money. So please be very smart before you go out there. Don't trade what you can't afford to lose. All right. Now, these are the couple of things that we're going to cover. We're going to talk about how to follow the big money. Some people like to call it the smart money. I like to call it using level 3 quotes. We're going to talk about how to follow price action, order flow, which is what everyone always looks at. They want to know how these stocks go up and down the way they do. Well, I'm going to talk a lot about that. I'm also going to talk about timing during the day and developing a good system. And also, one of the hardest things to teach, I would say, is risk management. That just comes with experience. But the experience that to survive this business is just got to know how to take losses, because that's where everybody gets themselves in trouble. All right, so let's go to the market really quick and see what's going on. Obviously, the market's closed, but at least we get some data. Does anyone here have any stocks that you're interested in looking at? Any stocks out there? Just give me a stock symbol, and I'll be happy to look it up. QS, okay. So QS was a really, really nice move today. Absolutely. You could see QS, Jack, went from like 825 all the way up to 930. Stock is breaking a 52-week high. Nice little trend, still looks higher. Now, the question is, do you know where to get in? Do you know where to get out? Where's the resistance levels? One of you here said, let's look. What about a brand name stock? I mean, is any brand name stocks out there? How about NVIDIA? Or how about Tesla? Tesla's been moving up pretty nicely today. Tesla had a big run up. It was up about 5% of $15. Okay. How about that? All right. So the thing that we have to always ask ourselves, and I have a question to ask all of you: how do stocks go up and down in the stock market? Let me see if everybody can answer that question. Mike, could you answer that question? Judd, John, Jack, George, Darwin, how do stocks go up and go down? Just, by the way, I'm going to do everyone a favor. If you can't answer this question, you probably should log out right now, and I'm going to save you some money. Don't be trading. Everyone should be able to answer this trade. Answer what I'm asking for you to do. Buyers and sellers. Very good. All right. Buyers and sellers. So do you see buyers and sellers on a chart? Yes or no? Jack, do you see buyers and sellers out there? George, you don't see it, right? Jack, do you see buyers and sellers? Where do you see the buyers and sellers? This is the right of the chart. Don't you want to see the left? I mean, the left of the chart. Don't you want to see the right of the chart? Let me show you exactly how we know why the stock's going up. First of all, you have to ask yourself is, why did it go up from 302? Didn't go lower. And why did it stop right around here around 312? And on the long-term chart, why is there resistance levels up here right around 350? And is that real? And why did it stop all the way down here at 228? Well, what you're looking at right here, fellow traders, is something called level 4. Okay. So here on level 4, you are seeing what's called order flow. And let me go back a little bit further in history. Let me go 12 hours. So you see these lines right here? These are what we call iceberg orders. These are orders that are out there that are preventing the stock from going higher. Look at the stack over here. You have an order at 307, 308, 310. See where it said 310 right here at 126,000 shares. You see how the stock, that line disappeared and you had a green ball? You see how the line disappeared? You have a green ball. You see how that line disappeared? Green ball. Yeah, the stock kept going up and up. These are called breakouts. What these are orders that are out there, and those orders got filled. That's what you're looking at. Let's look at NVIDIA. Another one. Big mover right here. NVIDIA, if you look right here, huge seller here at 165. Okay. Big seller. How big is that seller, you might ask? About 1 million shares of stock. That's how much is that million? That's 100,000. No, that's not the order I was looking at. There's a bigger order out there. Market's closed. It's over 1 million. That's the order I'm looking at. See the market closed right here? That's the order I'm looking for right there. How much is that order? There you go. 1.2 million shares are going to be sold at 165. Now think about this for a second. How much smarter and better trading decisions if you knew where the support and resistance, where these big iceberg orders are? And if you don't believe me, look at this right here. Here's NVIDIA. Here's a 2-day chart on NVIDIA. What do we say? 165, right? Look at this. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Never got there. Here's 165. We're literally $1 away. Okay. That's the reason why I didn't want to go there. Now, think about this. When you trade in the market, how much smarter and better trading decisions would you have made if you knew where these orders are? That's how you trade today's markets. If you want to learn how to trade, you got to follow the big money. And that's what you're basically looking at. So did I lose anybody, by the way? Just give me a yes or no. Did I lose anyone? Everybody following along? I got everyone's attention? All right, good. Because now things are going to get very interesting. Because my goal today is I want to show you live for one whole week in my trading room to see this actually happen. Now, how do I know this? Well, because who is Fausto Puglisi here? Okay. Why am I listening? And why did David from Timing Research have me here? Well, I'm actually 12-time champion at the Money Show and the World Expos. I've traveled around the world. I beat every school in the industry. Now, how was I able to do that? Is because I live here in New York. I was trained by some of the best traders in the world. I was a market maker. If you read any of the old books, they talk about So's Bandits. That's who I am. I'm one of the original So's Bandits that started. Okay. And the technology that I learned over 35 years ago is the same technology that's out there today. The only difference from 35 years ago till today is that you had to be licensed to do it. You had to work for somebody and you had to pay a lot of money to get this data. Okay. That was a difference between 10% and 90% of the losers. Now, if everyone here doesn't want to be part of 90% of the failure rate, then you better listen closely, because I'm going to explain to you how and why you need to, if you love this job, and which I think you should, and I think it's the greatest job in the world, you have to learn how to play the game. That's why I've been featured and have been on all the financial stations. I do exclusive work for NASDAQ because the exchanges know that if you know what you're doing, they make more money. But my goal today is not here to talk about all my success. I'm here to make you one of these people that are standing right there on the floor. I am looking for traders that I could recruit, that I could trade with in my trading room so we could learn together and trade together, because that's how trading really works. But like I said, it's not about you. This is about me. It's about you. Now, the question is, how did you guys get started? What made you get into the market? is that did you work for somebody? Did you would decide you want to trade your own IRA? I mean, you have to really think about this question. What really made you get involved in this business? And I think I can answer that question. Probably want to pays a lot of money. You want to trade your IRA, George? Okay. Anyone else? Because you know what, George? You don't want to give it to some stockbroker and charge you commissions, and then when it's down, they don't even call you. It's sad. I hear more people lose money giving their money to someone else. You're better off just doing it yourself. I'd rather at least lose it myself. At least I can blame myself for it. Okay. But the thing is, how long have you been doing it for? And also, who really trained you? Would you give your money to somebody that never learned finance? Well, that's what trading is all about. But to be a good trader and be a good investor, like a swing trader, you have to know what the street is doing. And that is Wall Street. So anyway, the market's been breaking new highs. We're doing great on the Dow, the S&P. Everything's doing fabulous, right? NVIDIA's finally broke all-time highs. Palantir broken all-time highs. Uber's breaking all-time highs, right? But what do we keep hearing? Are you breaking all-time highs on your account? Did you get the stock at 60 and sold it at 90 or 100? That's a 40% move right there. Did you make 40% on your account in the past 2-3 months? Well, we got a lot of no's coming in here. And you know what? That's okay, because we're here to fix it. Because this is just the beginning. Trading is a game. And the game is following the money. Now, what's the $1 million question here? Where is the top of a stock? Okay, let's say, because I want to show you a couple of examples here. I want to show you exactly what makes these stocks go up and go down the way they do. But the problem a lot of people have is we always look what's on the left of the chart, and that's looking backwards. We need to look forward. Forward is following the orders. So how are we going to follow the money? We're going to use something called NASDAQ Total View. Now, question for all of you here. Who here has NASDAQ Book Viewer? Just give me a yes or no. All right. George, you don't have it. Ricardo, you don't have it. Omar, what about you? Neil, what about you? You guys are awfully quiet. I haven't heard from you. Anyone else? Darwin, George? Omar, you're not sure? If you're not sure, I'll just take that as a no. I'll be loading up tonight. You got my email, Jack? You got my email from this morning, right? Okay. All right. Well, George, Jack, just remember, before you do that, did you watch those 2 videos I gave you? How to install it and how to set the defaults? Just want to make sure that you did that. Start. Okay. They're only 5-minute videos. Okay. Make sure you watch it and make sure you like it. Give me a thumbs up on it. Okay. It's on YouTube. All right. And everyone else here, if anybody here wants to know how to get it, here's my email. Fausto P at ctucorp.com. Okay. All right. So let me show you what we're going to learn right now, because listen, I really need your attention, because what you're about to see is Wall Street's biggest secrets. Nobody really knows about this stuff unless you're a market maker. All right. So basically what you're looking at is you're seeing every single buyer in the entire world that's trying to buy Uber. And you're looking at every seller in the entire world that's looking to sell Uber. Whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell for the least amount of money is on the bottom. Whoever wants to sell Uber for the least amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell for the most amount of money is down at the bottom. So what you're looking at is a big chat room of all the orders around the world. See, when you do a trade, it has to go through NASDAQ, okay? Now, there are other ECNs out there. We'll talk about them over the course of the week. But NASDAQ basically runs about 50% of the volume in the entire stock market, more than New York Stock Exchange, EDX, all of them. So And if there are a lot of buyers here, there are a lot of buyers somewhere else. It's pretty much even. But like I said, you're seeing every order out there. So when you want to know what makes a stock go up, this is the tool you need. Now, how do we use this data? Well, this is what I want to show you. Here you have a stock HIMS, okay? The stock HIMS and hers, stock went from, you could see it from here, started in the morning at like 52, went all the way down to this number over here, which is right around 48, went back up, hit resistance, came back down, didn't want to break 48 and went all the way back up to 51. Now, the thing is this, why did it go from 52 to 48? Why didn't it go to 47? Why didn't it stop at 50? Where is a 48 number come from? Well, how do stocks go up and go down? Like we always say, buyers. There must have been buyers out there, not support. Support does not exist unless those buyers are out there. That's why buyers is in front of support, which is what you guys do backwards. So we're looking over here in NASDAQ Book Viewer, and we'll notice that we work our way down. And right around here, which is this number here, there's a 74,000 share buyer out there. Okay. Now, there are buyers at every price level. There are 100 share buyers, 1,000 share buyers, but there's a 5-digit number. That 70,000 is 100 times more, maybe 1,000 times more than any order out there. Okay. So when you see all these orders, you're probably looking at like, it's a lot of numbers. What am I looking at? 98% of those orders do not interest you. It's the big one that you want to focus on. They just have to show it to you. You know, those are orders out there and they're going to get executed. But what you're looking for is the biggest, where most of the people looking to buy it. That's what we call program trading. Those are those limit orders you're talking about. That's everything. And that's what makes a support level. Now, let's look at something different. Let's look at our resistance levels. What makes a resistance levels? Sellers. So here you have a stock, what is this, Carnival Cruise Line? Stock goes from $27.90, and right around 11 o'clock, it decides it wants to max out just above $28, almost 29. And then it goes all the way back down to $27.90, which kind of stinks because here you had a dollar winner and now you made $1. Now you broke even. And don't tell me that's never happened to you. Probably happens all the time. But how would we have known to get out at that number? Someone told me 30. I just thought 30 was a cool number. Well, there's nothing cool about 30. What makes a stock go down and you work your way down is this big seller right here for 140,000. That's the reason why. Not the 400 share seller, not the 2,000 share seller. It's the 140,000 share seller. Did anybody here ever buy a house? Just going, I want to use a metaphor really quick. Anybody here buy a house before? George, you have? Okay. Jack, you're in? Okay. Everyone else? Car, whatever it is. Wouldn't it be pretty cool if you were able to know all the people that were bidding on the house and knowing exactly what the seller of the house really wanted for it? But you can't. What does the real estate broker tell you? Put a bid in. I'm like, I don't want a low ball. They're like, what's the worst thing you could say? No. I'm like, well, what does he want to pay? Oh, we don't know. Wouldn't it be nice to know? Well, guess what? In the stock market, you know. You now know where the order is, what you really have. Because you might say, I don't want to pay this price. Guess what? So do they. And that's how you look at it. So imagine you had the power of seeing all the people negotiating of something that you want to buy and how much what the person wants to sell, how much that would make your life a lot easier. Because that's why people, that's how people fail in trading. Let's go over one more. Let's go over some more examples. Another big example here. AMD. Okay, one of you talked about AMD, right? So AMD popped the market in the morning. Okay, had a big move up, went from 140 to 144. Now, let me ask everyone a question. When you trade the stock market or in anything, do you have a game plan where to get out? I mean, because you don't want to convert a winner to a loser, right? What do? What's your game plan? How do you get in and out of it? What do you look at? Fibonacci's, MACD's, hope. Oh my God, God forbid, hope. The anti word of trading. Alerts. Who's alerting you, Omar? Hold long term and do productive puts. Market trend signals from gurus. Okay. All right. Well, listen. And first of all, Jack, that's great that you do long term. But the thing is this: sometimes when you're in a position and all of a sudden the stock takes off, there's nothing wrong about taking a profit. You could always buy it back cheaper. And don't tell me it's never happened to you. You're like, oh my, I should have sold it. Now it came back down. You can always buy it back, right? You can always buy it back. I'll give you an example. CSQ. Ever heard of this stock before? They pay a $8, an 8 or 9% dividend. Okay. So, and someone's looking at like, I like the dividend stocks. Okay, no problem. So back in February, the stock was $18. It dropped all the way down to 13, right? And right now it's back to 18. So what do you say? Oh, see, I held it. It's back at 18. But if you knew it was going to go down, would have been nice to buy it at 13, sold it at, but regardless what the dividend paid you, right? You could have sold it at 18, bought it back somewhere around 13, and then they're at 18. So not only that, now you're up $5. You understand? That's what trading is all about. Jack says, yeah, I did that with QUBT. There you go. All right. And by the way, how did this work out? So you want to talk long term? Let's talk long term. So back in 2021, it was 18. And then it went all the way down to 11, back up to 18, down to 11. So after all of that work in 2 years, 4 years, you're still at the same spot. But you got paid your dividend, right? You got paid your dividend. But why not sell it at 18, buy it back at 13, sell it back at 18, buy it back at 13, and sell it right now back at 18, right? You want to wait another 8 years, 6 years, whatever it is? So let's look at AMD. AMD has 162,000 share buyers sitting there at 142. Okay. What do you think happens to the shares? Why do you think they're looking to buy it? What do you think is doing? What do you think this guy's doing down there? Well, if you thought selling at 142 was a good deal, guess what? It ran to 147. But you made money. It went from 140 to 144. You're like, oh, I made money. But the thing is this: how many times have you bought a stock, sold it, and it went up higher? And like, damn, I should have held on to it. Well, there's not a lot of big block orders out there out of everything, but there's the big order right there. Jack says that's my fear. Okay. By the way, is Jack the only one here talking? Jack, thanks for sharing love to hear from you. Guys, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be embarrassed to admit that you're wrong. Okay. If you can't admit it that you're, I hate to use the word, an alcoholic, or drug addict, whatever it is. I'm just trying to use it. You're never going to fix, you're not going to fix the problem. I went to the doctor just yesterday, on Tuesday, and my cholesterol is high. And he's sitting there yelling at me. He says, you eat a lot of meat. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, I'm a carnivore. I probably eat steak, but I just had steak today, right? No, not really. Well, are you sure? Don't lie to me, the doctor's saying. Yeah, I do. All right, well, you know what? If you don't fix it, we have to put you on medication, he said. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to admit if you're wrong or not. That's why you are here. Okay. I am not here to waste 8 o'clock when I can spend more time with my family to talk to you people, because I'm really here is because I hate seeing people lose money. Trading is an 80 to 90% failure rate. And the only reason why people fail is they just don't know how to play the game. Let's look at another example. Let's look at a play on Boeing. So Boeing had a big breakout right here. Okay. Stock went from 124 up to 120, 129. Right. Now, the thing is this. As a trader, we need to know, always looking to take a profit. Where are the sellers? So I'm looking at NASDAQ and I see, okay, there's a big seller right here at 230 for 47,000. Now, is that a lot? Well, when everyone's starting to show only 3-digit numbers, 200, 300, 500, I'm like, yeah, that is a lot of shares. So let me ask everyone a question. What do you do at 230? Do you buy more or do you sell it? What do you do? What's the game plan? Okay. So sell it at 229. Roland, like, let's think about it. You got a nice profit there, right? Why would you want to compete against a big block order like that? Guess what? What ended up happening? It went from 224. You only probably had about 30 minutes to figure that out. And now you back down to 226. Was that hard? Congratulations. You just solved the equation of how to be a trader. So what we got right here, fellow traders, are called iceberg orders. These are the big block orders that you need to watch. Now, listen, this is not the Fausto indicator. This is not, a Bollinger Band. This is how Wall Street traders trade. You always see those people running around the floor of the exchange, always wondering, how do you get access to that? I was one of them. And I'm just telling you right now, you're not going to beat them. Just join them. That's it. Don't think you know about a company. Don't think you know more than everyone else on the street. Oh, I know this company. It's a great company or a garbage company. I work there. Doesn't matter what you think. It matters what the street thinks. So, what happens when a stock breaks a resistance levels? Okay, let's talk about a breakout. So here you have NVIDIA, and the stock was trading. Look at all these sellers out there, right? You got 3.5 million shares sitting here at 150. What do you want to do? Do you want to hold it or do you want to be a seller? By the way, not only is that 3.6 million, there's over 24,000 orders that make up the 3.6 million. Right? What does Kramer say? He's got that little button. Sell, sell, sell. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Sell, sell, sell. So does everybody want to sell? Or do you want to buy more? What do you think? Roland, you want to sell. Jack, you want to sell. All right. Well, guess what? Stock goes up. It's at 150. Pops right out of the gate. What happened? What happened here? Can anybody tell me? What do you think happened? What just happened? Look at this. See that bar right there? That order got executed. That is called a breakout, right? That is called a breakout. Somebody went out there and said, I'll take those 3.6 million shares. By the way, let me get my calculator out here because I think we need to bring up some math. What is 3,600,000 times 150 equals about $500 million was sold at that price. Where is NVIDIA today, by the way? Where's NVIDIA? Let me clear this out. Clear all. We're at 165. There was that breakout right there at 150, right there. I took that screenshot back then. And it was pretty big resistance levels, by the way. You can see it right here, pretty big resistance. Right there. You see that right there? Resistance, resistance. And then no resistance here. It just busted right through. And now the thing's taking off. All right. Jack, you think that's cool? You haven't seen anything yet. Okay. You haven't seen nothing. You want to see something cool? A stock like ABVE. Okay. Stock goes from 50 cents up to $3.50. That's cool. Okay. That's what you want to see. A stock like OTTB goes from like $1.50 up to $3.50. Stock that's up 63%. These are things that you want. These are things that are very cool. Okay. And these are things that you're going to learn when you come into the trading room. So let me move this over and let me leave you off with something very important. So if anyone here would like to get a sample or try out that NASDAQ book viewer, just email me. Okay. Fausto P at CTUcorp.com. Okay. And like Jack mentioned earlier, I have 2 videos for you. And then I'll show you where to get it to the NASDAQ website. You can go to NASDAQ.com. Okay. You go www.NASDAQ.com. But you're going to do more harm than good, right? I could give you the keys to the car, or I could teach you how to drive it. So if you want to learn how to drive it, just email me now. Go bring up an email box. Type in Fausto. Just while we're here, why not do it, right? NASDAQ book viewer, NASDAQ book. And then give me your name. So at least I know who you are, Fausto. And just hit send. There you go. All right. Okay. So I would love to go to the live markets, but the market's closed. But I do want you to know there is something called NASDAQ level 4, okay, which I showed you earlier. This is the order flow, okay? So when the market opens up tomorrow, I'm live every morning at 9 a.m. All of you are invited to come, and I'm going to show you exactly how not only we see orders, but now we see it on a heat map. We see how long they're out there, if they're getting executed, all that good stuff. So there is something a little bit more advanced than NASDAQ book viewer, but we'll have to hold off until tomorrow for that one. Okay. All right. So what I'd like to finish off really quick, everyone, is I want to invite you all to come to my trading floor so you could see this live in the market. So, and see how to read level 3 and level 4 quotes. But most importantly, I want to introduce you to all my traders. We have over 1,000 traders in our room. Okay. I've been doing this for 35 years. We've got people around the entire world. And what I want you to see is how these people think for themselves. That is the big thing, because this is why CyberTrade University has been endorsed and sponsored by more brokerage firms and exchanges than any school in the industry. And not only that, we're the only school that has a 5-star rating on Google, and we were ranked #1 by ChatGPT. And you know what the main reason why is? Because our customer service. We care about our traders, and the more we care, The more people learn, the better it is for the market. So I designed this trading floor because when I started, I've learned that the only way you could learn how to trade, you have to surround yourself with people that have the passion, that want to learn with you. Okay. So if you're sitting at home by yourself, twiddling your thumbs, trying to figure out your own, you're kind of wasting your time. Okay. Who are you passing your ideas with? Who's reviewing your journals? Who are you talking to? Well, here's your opportunity to see what it's like. So there's not going to be any obligation. So this is I want to introduce you to my team, and all it's going to cost you is $9. Now, the reason why we charge $9 and not $900 or $9,000 is because, listen, I don't need the money. I really just don't know who you are, and I just feel like if you just put a couple of dollars into you have a little skin in the game. Okay, I'm not going to charge you anymore. We're not going to lock you in a residual or payment thing. No, all we're asking is an application fee of $9. That's it. All you have to do is click on that link that we just posted up there, or you could take your phone and you could scan that QR code. Now, this is what you're going to get for $9. We do live audio commentary all day long. You're going to get to meet all our traders around the entire world. You get to see stocks that they trade, call outs that we taught them what to do, and you're going to interact with them. Not only that, but you're going to be able to talk to our education advisors. You're going to have access to our podcasts of our exclusive podcasts that we do with some of the best gurus in the industry, all for a basic $9. And I'll even give you my book. You can pay me $50 on Amazon, or I give it to you for free here too. So I'd rather give it to you for the $9. All these wonderful things that you're going to get. And I'm going to throw one more last bonus into it on top of it all. If you register, fellow traders, I will personally give you a coaching class. I'll talk to you on the phone. And let me tell you why. Do you ever really, really want to do something, but you really need to ask the person that you're working for? Well, that is in a reality. But in today's internet, some of you bought classes. You didn't really talk to anyone. You just bought a couple of videos. That's it. And probably spent thousands. You know what? And you probably, if you spoke to the person, you probably would have never bought the class in the first place after learning about it. Well, I want to make sure you're making good decisions for yourself. So once you're in the trading floor and once you see what's going on, then we're going to go out there and we'll have that conversation. We're going to see if this is something for you or not, because someone's got to be honest with you, right? And it all is for $9. That's it. And by the way, guys, if you can't afford $9, you really can't afford to trade. And let me tell you, I'm going to save you some more money here also. If you get anything for free, including tickets from a brokerage firm, do you really think a brokerage firm is working for free? Do you know how much money they're making off you? They're making hundreds of dollars, and I will show you live tomorrow how they do that. Okay, so how do I know that? Because I was one of them. I love people that love free stuff, because those are the people you take advantage of. So my thing is, I don't want to give anything for free. All I'm asking is for a $9 trading fee. That's it. All right, traders. So before we go, just a couple of shout outs. Who is this? John. Oh, is that you, John? From Mississippi? I just got your registration. Welcome aboard, John. I appreciate it. Who is this? Leland, I got your registration. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard. Any other questions? Now you're in South Carolina. All right, Jack. Jack, you signed up this morning, right? All right, no problem. I look forward to talking to you. Just remember, Jack, watch those videos. And by the way, when you guys register, we're going to ask you 5 very important questions. Let us know a little about you, like what brokerage firm you have. Want to make sure you have the right broker. Listen, there are online brokers and there's direct access brokers. If you don't know the difference, you're in real trouble, okay? You're in real trouble. It's the difference is, if I was to ask you, could you explain to me what the difference between public transportation and me driving my own car? And why should I drive my own car versus deal with public transportation? I think everyone knows the answer to that. Well, You need to know the answer to this. Richard, listen, don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about next week. Worry about the $9 right now. Okay. Listen, I'll just use a hypothetical. If I could teach you, if I'm teaching you how to be a six-figure trader, does it matter what things cost right now, next week? Let's worry about right now. Let's not worry about next week. Okay. Let's worry about the $9. Okay. Any other questions? Couple of questions came across here that I want to share. Most people ask me, could I trade in the room with you? We don't really want you to trade. We just want you to watch. We want you to watch students, how they think for themselves. Okay. We don't tell anybody what to buy and sell. We teach you how to think for yourself. But the big thing is this: we don't want you to judge us on our winners. We want you to judge us on our losers and how we control them and how few we have. That's how you become a good trader. Good traders are not about me flashing money in your face, me with the nice fancy cars and the Lear jets and the hot girls and the bottles of champagne. That doesn't make you money. Okay? What makes you money is having a stable life, making what you have to make, and that's it. All right? It all starts here. All right, traders, I got to go. Any other last minute questions? Sorry, we went a little bit longer. I thought it was going to be 30 minutes, but 45 minutes is fine. Any other questions? Jack, you're more than welcome. Thanks for coming back in, Jack. And I look forward to seeing you in the trading room. You're going to have a pissa. And by the way, whoever didn't register, could I just give you a little advice here? I don't want to be, Debbie Downer. I love trading. But if you ever come to my podcasts and see some of the gurus, we like to talk more about fear than success, because trading is a very big failure rate. And the reason why people fail is they want to go do it on their own, everything else. If you didn't like what I have to say or teach, I get it. I'm not going to be offended by it. But I'm telling you right now, you better go out there and listen to other people. David does a great job by going out there and bringing some really good gurus in here. Try a little bit of everyone's stuff. Find what works for you and what you feel comfortable with, but don't go out there trying to figure out, watch a bunch of YouTube videos, because it's not going to work. All right. So thanks, Dave, for having us. Thanks for everyone coming here this evening. Rich, is a question. Is it something that you need to watch a lot during the day? Can you have a real job and still be okay with this? Richard, yes, because, I do a lot of swing trading also. With today's technology, you could access everything on the internet. You got things on your phone. We do our alert services on the phone. Absolutely. Okay. You can even watch our trading room from your phone. Just, you're going to see. We've been doing this for 35 years. I hate to say this, but we kind of pioneered the webinar technology, and you'll see why. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. David, thanks for having me again.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Fausto. Great having you back, and a lot of great info. So everyone be sure to check out Fausto's offer. I'm going to post it in the chat one more time. Also, if you want to review this recording, it will be up on TimingResearch.com as soon as I can get it processed, as well as this morning's recording. So
thanks, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
thanks,
I hope
Fausto.
to see you in the trading room.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
David.